Okay, let's find out what's going on here. There we go. Don't know what it is, man, but sometimes Sony just likes to really screw up whenever they do their stability updates. Like, yeah, we're improving the stability of the PlayStation software, so it all runs just fine. Oh, by the way, it's going to make it so your system stops outputting sound until you turn it off and back on again. Oops, sorry about that. But your system's more stable. Alright, so last time I remembered, starting to do some updates where I was about to need to go fight Gaston, Father Gaston, Gaston. Yeah, I don't think I have anything good right now. I don't think there's anything to repair with this either. Pardon me. Nope, nothing to repair. We're all good. Oh, so some things are coming out for Twitch, coming down the pipe pretty soon. I've gotten emails for it already. One is that affiliates are supposed to be able to make money off of ads now, that Twitch runs for their benefit. You know, like this ad supports Twitch. Well, supposedly affiliates are supposed to be getting a share of that now. That remains to be seen, because I do not have control over that. And I do have it that if you become a subscriber for whatever crazy reason, which I'm not encouraging anybody to really do. You're welcome to do it if you want. You pretty much get nothing out of return other than I just keep streaming no matter what I do. But I'm supposed to be getting ad share from it, and there's a new dashboard coming in. Completely redesigned dashboard, and it's terrible. It's not a, oh, this is something new, I hate it type deal. This is something new, and they've created a problem. Like, for example, that the preview window, which used to be like really small on the dashboard, is now like the main focus of your dashboard screen. It's taking up a good 2/3 of it. It's a humongous window. Chat's crushed, so you can't read anything more than 3 words at a time before it goes to the next line. Gives you all sorts of useless stats like how many people are cheering, who says this or that. It's like, who cares? Like, I want to see the things that I want to see. Like, I have my preview window very small. I have my stream health larger and my viewer and the chat so I can interact with you guys better. Things of that nature. Okay, so tell me I need to go to the Cathedral Ward, which we already know. I surprise you? Well, how do I surprise you? That I'm still alive? Me too. That I'm playing after having head surgery? Me too. Oh, the new dashboard? It's not that great. For what you want to do with it, I need to sit down and explore it more, but for what I want to do with it and what I need to get out of the information, it is not that great. There are problems with it. It's like, apparently they think that people want to see their preview window the largest thing when you normally should be playing your game anyway, but everything about like chat and all the other relevant stats that I have set up where I want to see it are literally the smallest things now that you can't change the size of currently. It's like, that is a problem. For me, it is a problem. Oh. So, had my head surgery yesterday. They took out the tumor the size of a ping pong ball out of my skull. Underneath the skin, of course, it's a benign fatty tumor. It's called a lipoma. And they're like, oh, you're on fentanyl for your back. You don't need any extra painkillers for this. And let me tell you, you do. I have a big giant bottle of whiskey that I'm plowing my way through. So they didn't give me anything fun. No, they didn't give it to me to take home. Nothing cool like that. They're like, yeah, we just took it out of you. We did 2 layers of stitches in your head. And then I find out that they bruised my ribs, flipping me over onto the table. They was like, do you want me to get in position? Because I'm opioid resistant. So drugs like that don't really affect me. They had to triple the dose to knock me out. They decided to put me under for some reason, instead of just doing a local anesthetic. So they jammed a throat like tube, like airway tube down my throat, and that like screwed up my vocal cords yesterday. And like my throat still hurts from that. My ribs are bruised from where they flipped me onto the table apparently, because it's literally like bruised. It's like, okay, was it like trainee day? What the hell happened here? And they did like a layer of subdermal stitches and then surface stitches on the top. It's like the scalp skin is not that thick. It's like I don't see why you really need to do subdermal stitching for this. It's not like a deep tissue thing. Like when I had my back done, they did subdermal stitches there too, where they put like, you know, the first layer, like everything below the skin, the muscle and everything, you stitch back together, then you stitch the skin itself together. For scalp stuff, not really needed. So all that without pain meds, it's not fun. So I'm in a lot of pain, but I said, you know what? I want to play more Bloodborne. I'm going to stream anyway. What? Yeah, so no cool tumor to take home. Nothing fun like that. That guy's stuck in a very suggestive pose. This guy's just surprised he survived and he's walking around. Let's go pay him a visit. Nothing cool? Oh, come on. These guys, there's no real reason to fight them, so we'll let them be. Want some stronger stuff. I'm probably gonna walk into him just shooting me right in the face. We'll see. Oh, sure, don't give me that parry at all. lock-on broke. Oh, come on. Yeah, so I knocked him down, of course. I don't know what it is. Even my friend Furry Pursuer, who showed up last stream I was doing Bloodborne, is like, okay, why isn't the game giving you the visceral? Don't know. It's Bloodborne. It's not the most stable of video games out there. Surprising, I know. Alright, I'm gonna get some money to farm because I need some Molotov cocktails. Oh, yes. I'd rather, like, you know, drink the contents inside of what it is for Molotov cocktails and also have more money to boot, but we take what we can get. Which for me is not a whole lot. Ignore the clad figure holding a very freaky blade and a gun in his hand. Keep walking slowly. Pay no mind to your imminent death. Everything is fine. Everything is great. Except for when it's not. Then it's terrible. And I'm stuck in the game geometry. There we go. Okay, let me out. Nice. It's like, oh, this is going to be a problem. Hey, Molotov cocktail. It's one less I have to buy. I'm a fan. And Hobo Jim is... Oh no, Jim! He's dead. Silver bullets, thank you. I need those. I like to try to parry. Apparently I didn't when the first time I played this game. I don't think I've ever seen these two guys over here. It's like, what are you guys doing over here? You say, hey, you pay your rent? I could have sworn you said that. Hey, you pay your rent, you bum! Come along. Come along. So these guys see his friends die and they're like, dude, I can totally get him. I can take him. I know I'm the one to do it. Everybody's coming at me this one. Okay, lock on, let's work. Really? Torch guy almost took me down? And rapid climb. Oh, how nice. Apex Legends has installed an update file. Yay? I don't play it, my brother does. Alright. Ow. I also need to clip the tails on these stitches too, they're kind of long. So how much is needed for an upgrade?
Welcome. What is it? Very well. Let me.
2,000. So it's kind of funny, like when you first start out this game, like having 1,000 blood echoes is like, oh man, that's a lot of money. And by the time you get closer to the end, you're running around with like 100,000 halos, like not halos, 100,000 blood echoes, and you're just like, yeah, it's I got killed. Oh well, I'll just pick it up later. It's like you don't care. It's like it's funny how your view on the money in this game changes the further you get in. No longer becomes as important. I don't know what it is, but the lock-on camera keeps tilting everything upward. Okay, good. Any extra bullets I have go back to my storage back at my normal place, like the Hunter's Paradise. So even though max is on 20 that I can carry right now, leftovers on everything go there. So that is awesome. Thanks, game. Yes, throw it like 30 feet past him. That's what I wanted you to do. Also, don't give me any, like, parries at all. Don't do that either. Really, game? Oh, 30 frames per second, so much fun. come on. So this is like literally the hardest freaking fight in the entire game, just about. Get nonsense like that. Dodge. Nope. Still hit you. Hey, I gave him right away. Who would have guessed? Not me. Oh, fuck you. Close again wouldn't let me get away. Okay, I didn't know if there's any other items he might possibly give. Pardon me, the answer is no. So basically right now I'm just kind of grinding to get more money. I'm just going to level up one more time. Switch to health. Come along. Come on. You can do it. Good try. Okay, that's pretty good. Back up. Reset everybody. Respawn them. Try it again. And we do it all again. Because I hate Father Gascon so much. So now I'll call him Father Gaston. Nobody likes Gaston. Get up. He ain't dead yet. Now you are. I'm wondering, did I ever go out the up door? Like the upstairs door? I must have. Yeah. It's a shortcut to the bridge. And fun things I do not wish to fight right now. Excuse me. Oh no, spoilers are totally allowed because I've actually gotten very close to beating this before. I think I have backseat gaming allowed on for my tags. Twitch is acting kind of funny. Casual playthrough, backseat gaming allowed, by all means. So I know there's people out here who like play this game way better than I ever could. Last time I played this was about 3 years ago, so just enough time for me to remember things vaguely and then like remember them far too late. Like as like, oh, isn't there a trap around here? And then it springs and kicks my butt. Things like that. So I'm supposed to be fighting Father Gaston right now and keep getting down to like literally the last shred of health, and then he just like infinite traps me where I can't dodge far enough away from him. And he kills me with like the last sliver of life I have, where I just need to land like one more hit literally on him. So I'm just grinding up real quick. I'm just going to level up my vitality one more, then try Gascon or Gascoigne again, however you say his name. Gaston. I remember hearing about it, but like, where do you get it? Would be my question. Where the little girl is, but where exactly? Like I said, you gotta remember, it's like, I don't know the full layout of this game. Like I said, it's been far too long for me to play, so I remember hearing about it. I probably picked it up the first time through, but are we talking like in the Hunter's realm, like the creepy doll girl, or somewhere else in here? Like down to the sewers? Because there's like a little like open sewer trench and stuff like that around here. Ah, crap, tried to dodge, did not. Oh, okay, yeah. So it takes you out of the sewers right before you pop up at that part. I know where you're talking about now. Yes, okay. I must have missed it on the way through there, because I went through there before I popped up and went, oh, that's the way I was supposed to be going. Yeah, because it seems like the visceral attacks are like really sporadic with him for whatever it is, like on my play file. Because I had a friend of mine who's actually just about to beat the game. He's playing through the first time, and he was watching my stream the last time I played this a couple days ago. He's like, why isn't the game giving you the viscerals? It's like, no idea. It's like I'd knock him down, and like I'd go up to do it, and it'd just give me a normal attack, even like standing this close to him. It's like, or it'd go right through. So all sorts of weird stuff happens, but I mean, this game is not the most stable or bug-free, so... Oh, that's the thing, is we were on flat ground. I was fighting Gascoigne. Flat ground, wasn't on the stairs. And it happens, so it like, seems to like happen. Yeah, I've seen that happen before on the stairs, where it just kind of screws it up, and it's like, nah, you're too high to do it, just do a normal strike. But it's like, even like level playing ground stuff, it misses. I already got trapped in the geometry once of the ground when I first started up. Yeah, going as close as you can is, of course, better chance to land that visceral. Some people try to do it farther back. I'm usually like, okay, get right in their face, make sure this doesn't miss. And sometimes it misses. Alright, so let's head back. Level up once. Pardon me. I'm gonna have to get a level now. For Gascoigne, I like to throw Molotov cocktails well above his head, 30 feet behind him if possible. And then sometimes the game tries to go, no, let's actually hit him with it, which is rare, but... Yep, upgraded to, I think it's 2, actually.
Welcome home, good hunter. What is it?
Check it in a second.
Very well. Let me...
Alright, let's see. Vitality... It goes up. Split defense... Stamina does go up too, but let's do one for Vitality for right now. Either 1 or 2. It's at 2. Its saw cleaver's at 2, but my hunter pistol's still at the default. Yeah, the first things I usually do is strengthen Vitality, and then I start putting into like Arcane and, was it Blood Tinge? Or something like that? So like for the later on weapons you can get. So let's see, I have 513... Maybe buy 1 or 2 Molotovs with this. Yeah, I don't PvP. Let's see. Alright, let's go see if we can find the old music box here. Central Yarnum would probably be best bet and get back to the bridge area quicker. Yeah, Gascoigne is like the worst fight for me for whatever reason. The other bosses can be like challenging and tough, but for me this is like always the hardest one. So he transforms into like the werewolf type thing. That's where the game's just like, okay, you've done up to this point, we're just going to end your life now. Like, oh, we're going to do an off-the-ground juggle. It's like, I didn't think that was a thing in this game, and it proves you wrong. Alright, stand here still for a second. Reach for the whiskey bottle, because, oh my god, pain. Recovering from a painful head surgery. Nothing serious, just had a little fatty tumor removed. And, like, you don't need pain meds. Yes, I do. Please give them. Give me. So, whiskey is my friend. Alright, down we go. Quicksilver, I need those, because it's kind of funny, because the first time I played this, I say when it came out, I played this. It was like 4 years ago. Went back to it because my friend got it for the PlayStation 4, and we did a lot of like co-op stuff and had fun with it. And got pretty close to the end myself, and then kind of abandoned the game just because other stuff came out and other focuses, and I started speedrunning Beta to 2, so... I was thinking, you know what, I've been watching my friend play it, and like, I really want to get back into it and play it, because I like this a lot better, because it's like... It always gets a comparison to the Souls games. Naturally, it's the same type of stuff, but I like this because it's more offensive driven. You know, Souls games are always like stand around, block, wait for an opening, and then do it. In this game, it's just like there is no block. You have a parry, you don't have a shield. Just go forth and kill everybody. It's a lot faster pace. I do enjoy it. The only downside that I wish would happen, and it probably never will, is this game getting a PC port. I would have loved to have seen this game on PC and running like 60 frames a second. That would have been amazing. But seeing how it's been like 4 years since this came out, and they moved on to other games like Sekiro and whatever, it's not going to happen. Not until PlayStation 4 emulation becomes a serious thing, which it's still in its super infancy right now. I also remember earlier on, like earlier versions of this game, that... Oh no! Crap. Alright, well, that didn't work. Usually it just goes, well, still give me the blood. No! Bummer. Usually that just lets me go flying right past them. That's the first time it's ever stopped me. I was like, I'll just run forward and get it triggered. There's also a ladder up there. There's a ladder behind to the right, and also one up next to the top. Right where they launched down that fireball. But that's the first time I've ever been stopped by those guys. So I was like, oh, that's intriguing. Oh, okay, cool. So that ladder to the right takes you down to exactly where it needs to go. That's good to know. Ooh, you dropped something. What vital? Also stack the wolves up in there, in the door, kill them from there. But that'd be nice. I hate the wolves. For now, let's go find the music box. We'll focus on one thing at a time, then seeing if I can get more vitals off of those, or vials off of the wolves. So I presume you're talking about like the two wolves on the bridge? Like basically provoke them, run back down to, yeah, then run back down to the house so they get stuck, like, or they won't cross the door. Just wail on them from there. It's kind of like how I killed the big giant pig in the sewer. It's like normally you want to like wait for it to turn around and then you can just, you know, stab it in the butt like Dark Souls. For me, I just navigated myself like, oh, here's the door and here comes the pig. I just stood right here and just wailed on him through the wall and killed him that way. It's like, hey, it worked. I want my blood souls. Ooh, thank you. Nice. Didn't have to go running too far to get them. Alright. Ladder time. All sorts of fun things alive down there that I killed previously. Whee! Stop. Alright. Piggy's back. Okay, so go this direction. Do not go to the pig. Screw it. Let him burn. I want the money. I'm poor. Oh, bird. Big bird. Forgot about the birds on the perch. Alright. Tell me how to get to Sesame Street. I demand it. Alright, so I'm going to head up this ladder real quick just to get to a safe area. Okay, so do I need to keep going around the corner, or do you want, or should I go up the next ladder? Next ladder. Okay, up to the top. Come at me, Crow. Ow! Bad Crow. It's funny, because I could have sworn I got that before. I guess I didn't. See, that's the fun of, like, having memory on them. Alright. So these guys are down. I guess I didn't go this way. I thought I did. Maybe I did and completely missed everything. Oh, too slow. No biggie, I can parry him. Usually. Famous last words. Except for when it doesn't want me to. Alright. We got door and we got ladder. Go up the ladder. Alright. Maybe I just went hightailing you through all here. I can't remember. Ah, okay, then you got the window.
Who are you? I don't know your voice, but I know that smell. Are you a hunter? Please will you look for
Yeah, she's like, can you find my mom? And then you find, like, her pendant, like, after you defeat Gaston.
She's gone too. I'm all alone and scared. Really? Oh, thank you. My mum wears a red jeweled brooch. It's so big and beautiful. You won't miss it. Oh, I mustn't forget. If you find my mum, give her this music box. It plays one of Daddy's favourite songs. And when Daddy forgets us, we play it for him so he remembers. Mum's so silly running off without it.
Closed by a device. What device? This device. Ah, okay, I know where I'm at now. Yeah, okay, I don't know what it is. It's not giving me the parry right now. There we go. Yep, I will be sure to equip that before I go and fight him to the death. Most likely my death again, but we'll give it a shot. Now my question is, does the music box respawn if I die? That is a good question. Unlimited use, excellent. Hi, you're annoying. Please die. Thank you. Goodbye. Goodbye. Oh, no! Keep running. Hurt me. Alright, just to reset things and get back into motion. Ow. Pop my bones just by stretching, the usual. That comes in later, I know, for another boss. These are pretty good. Okay, I'm at 15 for blood vials. That should be more than enough to get through the fight. Alright, so let's try that little experiment about the wolves. Just for fun. Nothing good, just money. Alright. And there's a guy at the top of the stairs. Hi there. Come at me, bro. Okay, so you can still reach that far. Let's do the longer range. Down, boy. Cool. I like. I like it a lot. Good tip. And decent amount of money on top of it. Yeah, exactly. It's one of the things I kind of pointed out probably before you showed up to the stream was about how, like, when you first start off the game, money is like super important. It's like, oh my gosh, I have like 1,000 blood echoes. This is a lot of money. And by the time you get close, like, to the end game, you're running around like 100,000 plus halos. Not, I keep saying halos because I'm a Bayonetta 2 player, but 1,000 plus, like 100,000 plus blood echoes. And you're just like, oh, I died, whatever. I'll just get them back, maybe. It's like you don't care anymore. It's just like it changes. Like, your view on the money in this game changes the farther you go in. I noticed that the first time I played the game, I was like, huh, okay. It seems like a lot of games are kind of like that too. 478. I'm guessing you've probably New Game Plused quite a lot. Okay, normally that's what happens without me getting hit. Now I got that, Hunter's whatever it was over there. Lost count after years. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I have no idea what I got. Yeah, there was the, what is it? It was Bold Hunter's Mark over there. So, when I walk through, should I do the music box, like, immediately? Use it on his beast form. Okay, so, kick his butt. When he goes on beast, then whip it out and just try to kick his butt as quick as I can. Alright, I think we got a strategy now. I'm surprised. Usually in the past, as soon as I walk through the door, he would just blast me right in the face with his blunderbuss, so... Usually use it 3 times, he goes in beast form, he gets immunity. I remember that happened the first time I played. Like, I had found the music box in my exploration, except for, like, this time I didn't. And, like, all of a sudden it stopped working. I'm like, why? I guess that was it. So, before I go in here to the butt whooping to be received, like, when you use the music box, if you remember, like, does he stay stunned for a while, or, like, until you hit him once? So, like, use it, hit him, and then, like, use it again. He stays stunned for a while. Okay, that's good. So if it, like, runs off and for whatever reason he's not dead yet, which is a possibility, then, like, do it again. Like, well, yeah, it should loop in. He said you can use it 3 times. Doesn't get stunned immediately. Okay. Okay, things to watch out for when things get crazy. Let's do it. He's getting serious now. Yep, that's what I love about this game. Throw it right over his head. Don't hit him with it. Okay, it didn't work. Nothing happened. Okay, there we go. It's not working anymore. And lock-on broke. Yeah, Molotovs do good damage to him if the game feels like hitting him. That's the problem. Like, it's either you smack him in the face with it or it goes 30 feet behind him. Accuracy is apparently not my guy's strong suit. No, we will not return there just yet. I need to get my bearings of where I'm at. Let's run up the stairs and get everything I need. There's something over here. Should be his clothes around here somewhere, I thought. Here it is. This is the brooch, or brooch. Yeah, I thought you got Gascoigne's clothes. I guess maybe you have to buy them? I was thinking you got them automatically when you defeated him. But I said my memory is kind of hazy on the subject. Oh, it's the inside shop. Okay. Inventory, what did I get? Brooch. Ooh, we get a blood gem. Sweet. Bloodstone shard. Okay, so I have 2 of those. That's nice. Just looking to see exactly what it was I got. So, open the key to block the tomb of Odeon? Or Odin? Yeah. Let's level up.
What is it you did? Very well, let me...
I shall become your strong. Yeah. Get a little stronger. Be good to do. Now we're gonna go upstairs and... Okay, so remember gems were a thing here, so how do I get that in? I thought I had one I could put in. Or do I need to get the workshop tool first? Because remember that's the next thing you get. Yeah, that's what I thought. You aren't thinking the same thing, like, oh yeah, this is great, put that in there, and nope. Not yet. Thinking ahead. Let's see. Yeah, I thought one of them, yeah, it's like this one, like the garb is good for like poison resistance, but I don't think I'm gonna running into anything that's gonna be like poisoning pretty soon at least. Remember that being like later in the game, you start running into poison crap. Let's go back and tell that child that she's now an orphan. Let's see. Great Bridge. Nah, I'll still go with Central Yarnum. Oh, that's right. I forgot. I broke the brooch. That's okay. I can still get some more bullets. Love bullets. And cocktails. Yes. If you're in this, it's like there's two worlds you don't want to be a part of, like fictional worlds. This and the world of Gantz. If you're in those ones, just kill yourself because it's not going to get better for you. Yeah, Silent Hill, that's a good one too, definitely. If you're like, what happens in Gantz? It's like, oh, I don't know if you want to go down that road. Whee! With style. Yeah, like, Gantz is like... A lot of people like start like the first season of Gantz or like the manga, stuff like that, and it's like, they end around the Buddha arc. It's like most of the team gets wiped out type deal. It's like, oh, that sucks. But then it gets like even worse because like aliens invade and take over the planet, and they are just like wiping out humanity on a huge, large scale. It's like, whoa. Shall take your money and your blood vials and the other blood vial. I know you probably have and is stuck in a ragdoll state. Oops. All right. Let's see. Let's go down the stairs. Let's get out of here. That actually gives me enough blood echoes to level up one more time. Probably putting the stamina at this point. Bloodborne comics on the internet. That'd be interesting. Is it like fan-made or is it official? Alright, where'd she go? There you are.
Welcome. What is it? Very well. Let me step. Farewell, good hunter.
I love how this game gives you a shield, because I remember people complaining about that at first because there were Dark Soul players coming into this and they're like, oh, there's no shields. You get a shield and it breaks in like one hit. It's like, yep, that's how this game do. Alright, so here's the tomb. Must remember where to go. I had problems with Dark Souls because I played it on PC and it was glitchy as hell. Like, I would just be running along and like I just fall through level geometry. I'm like, wow, this is great. And Dark Souls tended to be more of ambush style, like you just run around the corner and oops, you just got, you know, ambushed or just had a ton of rocks fall on you. Sorry. It's like, well, you couldn't see what you're doing. It was more artificial difficulty because everything was so dark you couldn't see. And of course, you had Dark Souls 2, which made things brighter, 60 frames per second. In my opinion, made it a lot better. You had more responsiveness to it. You could see things coming. It was still hard, but it wasn't like as cheap, in my opinion. But that's just me. So where am I supposed to go now? I'm trying to remember. Unless somewhere else opened up. Did like a new place open up back in the Hunter's Dream? Sekiro is cheap. That's the problem, is the artificial difficulty with Sekiro. Because, especially like that first ogre boss you fight, it was like literally like, you'd be facing this direction doing a jump kick over here, my character would be back this far behind him, and the game would still hit me. I was like, are you kidding me? That's right, I didn't open the gate last time. So for Sekiro, a lot of it was artificial difficulty just because they're like, well, let's make it hard to do this. Let's change hitboxes so the guy can be 10 feet away from your character, 10, 15 feet away, swinging the opposite direction and still hit you from behind. It's like, that's nonsense. Yeah, and that was my problem with Sekiro, because, I mean, one, you could tell that it legit was a Tenchu game. It's like, it has, like, so much Tenchu. And they came out and said, yeah, this was originally a Tenchu game before we switched it over to its own thing after changing it too much, which actually usually happens with a lot of Japanese games. Nightmare Creatures, back on the PlayStation and Nintendo 64. It's been a while. Oh, this is where you get the tool right there in that chest. Yeah, people say, like, this is the Bloodborne of X. It's like, for me, it's like Super Nintendo games. I like to play retro games. People are like, oh, Lion King's the hardest. I'm like, let me tell you about a little game I beat on stream called Super Empire Strikes Back. That was the Dark Souls of the Super Nintendo. Yay, workshop tool. Now I can mess things around with my saw blade. I've never played Ark Survival, or at least have not played it yet. For me, it was by far Super Empire Strikes Back, which I don't know how, as a kid, I was able to beat that on Jedi. My brother and I were like basically effectively speedrunning it before speedrunning was a thing. And then I played it like last month or so ago on stream. And it's like, how did I ever get past this game? I was playing on normal, get my butt kicked. Oh yes, the cathedral. Of course, you tell people like, hey, come here, it's safe, and it's not safe. It's never safe here.
Oh, you must be...
You're safe for a little bit, and then for whatever reason everybody dies. I can't remember why.
Must have masked your scent. Good, good. I've been waiting for one of your ilk. These hunts have everyone all locked up inside, waiting for it to end. It always does, always has, you know. Since forever.
And then now I think I can go back to that one lady, wherever she was. She's like, have you found someplace safe for me? You can tell her yes, and she shows up here.
The screams of women folk, the stench of blood, the snarls of beasts. None of them's too uncommon now. Yarnum's done for, tell ya. But if you spot anyone with their wits about them, tell them about this here Erden chapel. They'll be safe here. The incense wards off the beasts. Spread the word. Tell them to come on over. If you wouldn't mind.
Alright, so I have all that. I think they're... Yeah, I think I can grab... I think there's like isn't there like a clothes set or something right around here? Remember, there's some kind of item, because I know you get too close, you get like this invisible hand, well, at least it's invisible now, that can grab you and just wreck you. I remember there being something of value over in here in this courtyard. No, it's all good, man. Don't worry about it. Thanks for dropping by. I'll probably be streaming this again, hopefully tomorrow. You'll see where I'm at then, if I've made progress at all. Yeah, because remember there's an outfit or something like that, and, some like doll's clothes or something. You can like sell it for a crap ton of money real soon. Like 30,000 blood echoes at this point in the game. Let's see if I can find it. I see this on the ground over here. Let's go for that. Easy. Blood vials. Yay. Run around. There it is. Hunter garb. Okay, it's even better. Can't see. Get off the screen. Damn glitches. There we go. Yeah. That's right, this is home base. You can't come here. See? You disappeared. Nope, nope, he's back. Nope, he's gone. He's back. Coding at its finest. Alright, let's go change up that weapon. Blood gem. Physical attack plus 13. I'll take it. You have anything new to say? Not really. Okay, cool. Yes, you can bang the doll if you want. Got it. Hey, what's up? These are literally no change. I look fancy. Alright. So let's go back and see if I can find that lady. I remember exactly where she's at. I think she was by the dog cage, if I remember correctly. While I wait for the loading, which is thankfully a lot faster than what it used to be at launch. Oh, good lord. Used to be looking at a static bloodshot, like bloodshot. It was the black screen, white text said Bloodborne, that was it. Nice little things to tell you about the game, or your weapons. None of that. Let's see.
I'm afraid I'm of little help now. But before I take this,
Ooh,
I
nice.
make no use of it, but perhaps you. What afflicted me was incurable, but this town gave me hope. Their strange blood bought me time. I was most fortunate, unharmed by the plague of beasts. I can even die human.
You keep thinking that, buddy. Here she is.
So what is it now? Are much better ways to pass the time. Unless you found me well, what do you know? An outsider worth a lick of salt. Well, don't just stand there. Don't you have work to do? Go slit some throats. Get this mess done with.
Yay!
Oh, and trot along.
Yeah, I never got that stuff down there. Is that Plague Doc? Yep, there she is.
What are you still doing here? Enough trembling in your... a hunter?
Okay, I was thinking, like, maybe I'll tell you about where I need to go, because I can't remember what happens to that character. I think they just up and die. Oh, shut the door. I thought it was like something like search, like, how did I miss an item? It's like, I don't see anything there. Alright, let's start messing around with the Cathedral Ward. Let's find out what we can find out there. Let's see what we can find. I smash your priceless pottery, and it's the old cranky woman.
Oh no, I haven't forgotten. Do you think I owe you something? Well, that's a fine lark, I'd say. This whole mess that Yarnum's in is all your fault. You put it to the outsiders. Our blood's ruined, tainted by your ilk. Don't you come near me. I know your type.
There being a person like right around the corner around here. There it is. Quicken shield. Yeah, that's pretty much useless. That was put in for all the Bloodborne or Dark Souls players who were complaining about not having a shield and being able to block. And they quickly found out how useless it was and complained even more. Okay, nothing here. And where they're being, I think it was over here to the side, there's a NPC friendly. Oh crap, stupid lock on. That wasn't good. Yeah, lock on kind of screwed me on that. Ah, yes. There he is, he's down here. Okay, I remember that.
You're a beast hunter, aren't you? I knew it. That's precisely how I started out. Oh, beg pardon. You may call me Alfred, protege of Master Ligurius.
Master of ventriloquism, do not move my lips.
So, what say you? Our prey might differ, but we are hunters, the both of us. Why not cooperate and discuss the things we've learned?
Pardon me.
Oh, very good. Very good indeed. Take this to celebrate our acquaintance. Beast hunting is a sacred practice. May the good blood guide your way. There must be oodles for us to share. Go on. Just tell me what piques your interest. As you know, the Healing Church is the fountainhead of blood healing. Well, I'm a simple hunter, quite unfamiliar with the ins and outs of the institution. But I have heard that the holy medium of blood healing is venerated in the main cathedral, and that counselors of the old church reside in the high stratum of the cathedral ward. If you seek blood healing, and the church is willing, you should pay them a visit. Byrgenwerth is an old place of learning, and the Tomb of the Gods, carved out below Yharnam, should be familiar to every hunter. Well, once a group of young Byrgenwerth scholars discovered a holy medium deep within the tomb. This led to the founding of the Healing Church and the establishment of blood healing. In this sense, everything sacred in Yharnam can be traced back to Byrgenwerth. But today, the college lies deep within a tangled wood, abandoned and decrepit. And furthermore, the Healing Church has declared Byrgenwerth forbidden ground. It's unclear how many of its scholars remain alive, but only they know the password that allows passage through the gate.
Of course.
I bid you farewell. May the good blood...
Okay. Hunter, destroyer of property, hater of pottery. This is the town where you have the crazy hunter with like the Gatling gun on top of the tallest building. Yep, old Yarnum.
You there? Hunter! Didn't you see the wolf? Turn back at old Yarnum, burned and abandoned by men, is now home only to beasts. They are of no harm to those alone. Turn back, or the hunter will face them.
I'm sure that's not a glitch up there.
Welcome. What is it? Very well. Let me. Farewell, good hunter.
Alright, time to explore old Yarnum. Crazy man with a Gatling gun. Come back here, I want you. You have goodies I need. Yes. Too far. That's okay, I still got the gemstones. Still got the bloodstone, so that's good. Now I skated off. Okay, dead end. Somewhere around here, the old guy was yelling at me at the start, like, yeah, everyone's dead here. Will start firing at me. I know he does, but I just don't remember where that starts exactly. These guys inflict frenzy. Hey, Nimix. What's up? Hopefully things are good. Bloodstones! Yay! I think this is where he starts opening fire. Yeah, because he's right up there. Dude's got a minigun. Time for another whiskey break. Because good lord does my head hurt. Oh. Had that lipoma taken out, or lipoma yesterday taken out. The size of a ping pong ball. Like, oh, you're on fentanyl. You don't need extra pain meds. Yeah, I do. It's quite painful.
Welcome home. What is it you'd...
Nothing for now, because I forgot to do other stuff. Let's see. How many more bloodstones do I need? I need 2 more, okay. Let's go get shot at by a crazy old man. How most of my Tuesday nights end. Holy Blade, I like that weapon. This guy's playing possum. Now he's just playing dead. Literally. Alright.
You are a skilled hunter, adept, merciless.
Nope, too slow. That being a shortcut down, especially when the guy starts opening fire on me, because he's going to do that pretty soon. I can't remember what point he starts. But you can barely see him, like, right up above my top hat. Kind of hard to line it up there, like, vertically. He's actually up there. He's got a huge minigun. Yeah, so now he's angry. Peekaboo. I can see he's not a really friendly neighbor. Sometimes you'll get lucky and he'll actually like take out those guys with those explosions and the gunfire. Not today. Not this time. Ooh. Oh, that was lame.
Next time you dream, give some thought.
Lame. Oh, they came down the stairs. Usually they don't do that. Oops. I didn't know he could get me from that angle. So my question is, where's my money? So usually your like the money you die and you drop pretty much stays pretty close to where you died at, and it's not here. Ah, this guy's got it. There we go. I think I have enough shards now to upgrade my weapon a little bit stronger. Oh crap, I'm just one shy. Of course I am. Okay, so I literally have the strongest thing on there. That's good.
Welcome. What is it you... Very well. Let me... Farewell, good hunt.
Alright, so now let's try to make a little bit further progress. Ooh, that was deceptively longer than I thought it would be. He's being nice and not firing on me just yet. So I actually need him to blow up part of the wall I need to go running through. So I need to head right where that little torch is. Real fast. Into a flock of crows. a murder of crows to be technical, which they will murder me. Hey, the bloodstone shards I was looking for that will finally let me upgrade my weapon again. Alright, so now I have enough to do that, but still pressing forward. Nope, still here. Didn't drop any frames. Twitch has been acting really screwy lately for like just about everybody, so that would not surprise me. People have been having problems with their chats. Buffering, the buffering bug is back. Everyone loves the buffering bug from Twitch. Chat's been cutting out in and out, like where it's just like you've been reconnected to the chat. You're reconnected to the chat. You're reconnected to the chat. It's like, oh, good. And I found out the reason why, because they're adding more things. One, I can now get revenue from ads they run on my channel against my will. I do have it set so, of course, if you're a subscriber, which you're the only one, you won't see ads, which is nice. The other one is they're rolling out a new dashboard for when you stream, and I am not a fan of it because apparently they thought the biggest focus of the dashboard should not be being able to see your stream health, like how the bitrate's holding up, if you're having any type of problems, reporting the servers, to chat. A good 2/3 of that is now taken up by your preview window of your stream from what you're playing already. So you have that going through. It's taking up the majority of stuff. And now chat's like you can't read it more than like 3 words, and then it breaks down to another sentence down below it. Like it paragraphs itself. You just keep going down and down. It's like, why are you doing this? So it's in beta right now. Oh, shit. Just accidentally scratched my stitches. So it's in beta right now. It's going to be rolled out to everybody else. I can still turn it on. Like, I checked it out before I started streaming. I'm like, that's a problem. I will have to mess with it later, but it's nice you can do dark theme with it a lot nicer, but for whatever reason, they thought that the video preview should take up 2/3 of the screen, and all the information you want to see, like chat and everything you need to interact and know if there's a problem with your stream, how many people are watching, things like that get basically knocked away. So that's a kind of downside. Alright. Oh, crap. It's like, where is the guy? He's up there. Over here, come on. Come in here. Join your friends. Okay, shooting from the top of the building is right above my top hat. You can see the Gatling gun stick out. Crap, he can hit me there. Okay. It's like, I wonder what angle he can hit me at. Right there. Ooh, even more fun stuff. Should I probably pay attention to? Alright. Can't remember what's in there, but I know this ladder goes up to fight this guy up top. At least I thought it did. Yeah, it does. Just another ladder to get up there. Okay. That's good. I mean, at least work's going good. That's good to hear. At least it's not like, oh god, why did I come back to work for this company? And he knows I'm here already. I remember previously, like, he would just be still on the minigun, not waiting for me. I'm probably gonna die. Yep.
I should think you still have dreams. Well, the next time you dream, give some thought.
So are they... So I thought, like, you got to stay completely at home now. So are they still making you drive to Atlanta every once in a while? Okay, so only if you're needed you have to do that. Yay! Okay, so now I can bring it to 2. I don't think I ever used a flamethrower, or a flame sprayer, excuse me, first time I played. Just farming some quick bullets. Here, Wolfie, Wolfie, Wolfie. Oh, there he is. Okay, it's like, come on. Okay, so where's your friend? There he is. Only 3? Oh, I got gypped. He usually gives you 4. Not this time. Ooh, lots of quicksilver bullets. See, last time I just like beat the boss and like, okay, I'm out of here, and didn't really look around. Oh. Well, the good news is that, well, other than getting a ping pong ball sized fat deposit taken out of my head, is tomorrow I start up on my new fentanyl patch, double the dose. So hopefully that does better things for me. Because for now, I'm just downing whiskey like crazy. hospital's like, just take Tylenol. It's like, you do realize I'm on opiates, right? Because Tylenol does like nothing except for headaches. Oh, okay. Good luck. And in other news, Bayonetta 2 got accepted. Not by me, of course, because I didn't put it in, but it's going to be an AGDQ 2020. One of our runners, Cap Revenge, got it in. My family was like, well, if you want to go, just do a GoFundMe or something. It's like, yeah, registration is in 2-3 more days is the final wave, and if you don't get in then, you can't attend, so I won't be going, no matter what. It's like, yep. They're like, oh, never mind. It's like, they had the first wave back on yesterday, actually it was, and then the last wave was on the 11th. Until they're all filled up, and they tend to go out pretty quickly. Why are you not dead? Question I ask way too many times in this game, really. Come, my monsters. Okay, he doesn't want any of this. Smart decision. I swear those guys used to be killed by that. By gunfire and explosions. Big Bird was angry. Demands sacrifice. are you going? Come on. Like he wants to fight me, but then he doesn't really want to. Come on, bro, come at me. Battle attrition. Alright. Bone marrow ash. I have no idea what that does. Let's get to a slightly safer place and find out. Strengthens quicksilver bullets. Nice. Okay. Thought there was something over there. I guess not. Run away. Some space. We ain't done yet. Okay, so we're inside a building. No chance of getting shot. Lots of people down there, it looks like. I see at least 3. And they know I'm here now. Outstanding. We were briefly going down like these stairs and running into multiple enemies. There's another one on the other side of the wall. They're coming. Oh, there's more. Getting a lot of money that I hope I don't lose. It's like, yeah, 8,000. They're gonna let me level up about twice. Ooh, good. So this ritual blood lets you do the chalices, which are back in the hunter's dream or whatever they call it. So far, I don't know where our favorite trigger happy friend is right now, so that's kind of has me concerned. Hey, it's T. Wallace. Good, everyone's dead. Bloodborne was a dating simulator. What monster would be the most eligible bachelorette or bachelor? Ooh. Wooden monster. Well, there's a boss coming up pretty soon. I forgot what her name is, but she like turns into like this big, humongous, giant, furry wolf that you fight. So, I mean, I'd say she'd have it because she looked pretty beforehand. And then also, like, when she transforms, she can also market the furry community, of which I have several friends in there. So, I mean, she can, like, get both of those areas there. You know, get the hot guys and also the furry crowd. Best of both worlds. That's my take on it. Heard that Rachel Ray had a comparison to Bloodborne. Must be something I'm not understanding. In that everything she makes is a hideous creation, an abomination against God. I mean, that would be my first comparison quote that I would probably think about her, Rachel Ray, and Bloodborne. Things that are not appetizing, you know, that give you nightmares, probably when you eat it or see it. There's multiple comparisons that can be made between Rachel Ray and Bloodborne, definitely. I can kind of see that going through. And of course, somebody out there is watching the stream going, actually, Bloodborne represents mankind's struggle against modernization and 18th century England mechanical revolution, which obviously went over your head. And the Miyazaki in Japan is like, I just want to make a kind of creepy game that's like Souls, and you have no idea what the hell the story is. Probably. I have a feeling I'm gonna get blasted in the face. Oh, okay, I now know where I am at. Good, 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 good. Going up top, so I'm right below where Shooting McShootface is. Let's see, nuts to that. So downside, everybody is back alive again, but the upside, I can safely head back to Hunter's Realm, Hunter's Dream, and level up. Do some fun stuff. If you're wondering what's going on with my head right now, blam, take a look at those lovely pictures. My theme song for today is 9 Inch Nails' Head Like a Hole. Okay, so now I need twin bloodstone shards. Okie dokie.
Welcome. What is it you desire? Very well, let me...
Oh yeah, it's a lot of fun, because they're like, oh, you don't need to have any extra pain meds, you're on fentanyl already. It's like, let me tell you, this is excruciating pain that's being kept at bay currently due to my slugging constantly of whiskey, which I'm going to do right now. Evan Williams honey, best stuff. So yeah, I'm just slamming down whiskey. Fortunately, tomorrow I get my brand new fentanyl prescription.
Farewell, good hunter.
So that should definitely help out. Hopefully, ideally, because it's double what I currently have. Quicksilver bullets. No, I mean whiskey. You heard me. So from those pictures, it kind of looks like it's my left side. It's just the angle it is. It's actually the right side of my head. Yeah, it's weird like that one. Oh, that's right, because like the first picture was taken reflectioning in a mirror in the bathroom. So that's why it looks like the left side. The other one, it's like closer up, is the actually where it's at. So of course with that like swelling and all that stuff, it's like I can't lay down the right side on my head. Like I can't sleep on my right side, so I have to sleep on my left, which throws me off. And you also can't sleep on your back either, so it's like, oh good. That's what I really want to have, so it's like sleeping on like slightly bruised ribs, just like laying on my left side trying to get some sleep. They are just hanging out and looking at that lantern like, dude, that is the best, most awesome lantern ever. I don't think it's ever explained what the heck these things are, but they show up from time to time. If you play it with like online enabled, they'll pop up to show you different things like players' hints that they've left and where they've died and so forth. But when you play offline like I do, not have to worry about people invading you and other fun griefing stuff. They just show up around these lanterns. All fun stuff. So hang tight for now. I need to run to the restroom. We're going to play some Geeks. I'll be back in just a minute. Alright, so to answer your question, if there's a way to emulate the Wild Gunman games with a light gun, there is. It depends on what emulator you're using. Like, for example, I know for Super Nintendo, it's like ZSNES, which people kind of laugh at, but it's an older emulator, but you can use the mouse as a light gun. As for NES, I'm not sure which ones can do it, but it's definitely doable, like Nimic said. So there are emulators that can do it. I don't know if any are in like that in RetroArch. I haven't really examined it because I know Wild Gunman, Hogan's Alley, and Duck Hunt are the three. Actually, and Adventures of Bayou Billy, aka Wild City in Japan, are like 4 games I can think of off the top of my head for Nintendo that use a light gun. The Nintendo Zapper. Now, ZSNES is pretty good. People like who are like purists are like, oh, it's not as accurate as a real Super Nintendo or FPGA emulation. Like, yeah, that's right, but you know what? It's got some cool features that still haven't made it their way to other emulators. Like being able to disable different sprite layers at will. Like numbers 1 through 7 will disable whatever sprite layer is available. It is lagless, like I believe Nimix just pointed out right now. Yeah, he did. Trying to like concentrate on the game and read at the same time. A little tricky, especially with this game. Walk around the corner. Okay, I just don't want anybody surprising me. But yeah, it's really good emulator for that purpose. I did like that because you can also turn on like the super scope or the mouse really easy, and of course the super scope does operate through the mouse on top of it, so it's a pretty neat emulator. I think the last version of it is 1.51 off the top of my head. Come on, everybody. Come to the party. Oh, actually, I played Sekiro when it came out. And I do not like it because one big reason I was actually discussing with a new follower I had tonight. I'm gonna totally butcher his name, Nylar Thrub or whatever. Yeah, you try to say that name out loud, but showed up earlier and we're talking about Sekiro and other like Souls games and so forth. My problem with Sekiro is artificial difficulty, as in like they will make certain enemies harder than they need to be by manipulating hitboxes. For example, like one of the guys in Sekiro you first fight, the big major problem is this ogre, like this, yeah, it's actually like fire ogre. And you fight him on some steps like this, and he'll be facing this direction, attacking this way, and you'll be all the way back here behind him, and the game will still move the hitbox around to hit you. Even though you're completely behind him, he's attacking the opposite direction, you'll still get hit. Or he'll be like right where this fence post is, and you'll be over here, like literally this far away, and the game will suck you into a throw. It vortexes you in. It's nonsense like that, where they basically said like, oh, let's make this guy even harder to deal with, where they manipulate hitboxes and throw ranges and stuff like that. And that's what really kind of ticked me off about Sekiro. I got about halfway into the game before I stopped playing, and it was just basically for things like that. It's like, I don't mind games that are challenging, like Bloodborne, the game I'm playing right now, is challenging, but it's mostly fair. I mean, you're not going to have like moved hitboxes and things like that generally, but in Sekiro you do. So I actually streamed it when it came out. Yeah, telekinesis, it's no, it's generally regarded. Even speedrunners consistently die on that one because of just the wonky hitboxes they have programmed into it. Wonder if I can make it. Let's do it. Let's get stupid. Birds are angry at me through the wall, and this guy's gonna bust out the window or the door. Come on, buddy, you two. Come on in. Death for everybody awaits. Death awaits! And if you have not heard the Sony news today, the PlayStation 5 will be coming out holiday season, November, holiday season 2020, which is probably going to be November, yeah, November next year is what I'd guess, most likely. Because I think that the PlayStation 4 launched in November, if I remember as well, if I'm remembering right correctly. If I'm trying to say things and failing miserably, like I am now. It's also still supposed to be backwards compatible with the PlayStation 4, which I really hope that continues to be something. Hi there. PS4 wasn't too bad. I mean, the big problem for it for me was that they came out with this big graphical, amazing system. You can do amazing, great games look with it, and then they just push like indie crap, like, hey, we can do, you know, like we can do retro style looking games now. It's like, well, why don't you do all these games that look amazing, like the Uncharted series or even Bloodborne? I mean, this runs 30 frames per second, but it looks great. They're like, no, 8-bit pixel stuff. It's like, come on, guys. So that was my problem with the PlayStation 4. And then also they came out with like the Pro version 2 years or 3 years after, kind of screwed everybody. It's like, oh, everyone who adopted the system early, like mine is literally a launch unit. It's like, sorry, go buy a Pro, which costs $100 more than you bought the system originally for, or else your games are not going to run as well and look as great. It's like, well, that's amazing. So I'm going to hold off on buying the PlayStation 5 unless I absolutely have to, unless there's like something like, hey, for whatever reason, Bayonetta 3 is on the system now, you know? It's like, ah, crap. Ninja Gaiden 4! It's like, Seeing how Sony kind of burned me on this one, I'm kind of ignoring it, so... Well, as long as you like that old piece of crap, that's the big thing. I mean, like, everyone knows I'm a retro player and collector, at least if you don't, you do now. So I like the old stuff. Oh, T. Wallace, don't become a retro pie guy. No, don't do that. They're gonna have this false sense of superiority when you go into like, why would anyone buy like, you know, like, hey, cool, I want to buy the Sega Genesis Mini. Well, actually, you can just buy a Raspberry Pi for twice the price and program it in there and have like massive amounts of lag, input lag, because emulators for it don't work right. But you just go ahead and buy your Sega Genesis Mini. It's like, dude, no one cares. You have small genitals, we get it, it's fine. Women may laugh at you, we'll laugh at you, but that's fine. But everyone's gonna like the things that they like, you know? Just because you can program a Raspberry Pi, whoop-de-doo. You know, everyone likes their own special things. Alright, so let's go here and let's get jacked up. You can like your brands as long as you don't believe they're superior to everybody. As long as you're not a fanboy, that's fine. Fire paper, I really want to save that till later. Yeah, like the things you like, just don't be a fanboy about it. You know, it's like I like the Super Nintendo. I think it's better than the Sega Genesis. And like overall for like sound and graphics and things of that nature. But at the same time, I also have a pretty nice Sega Genesis collection, and there are some games that literally run better on the Genesis versus Super Nintendo. Mickey Mania. Let's see, what's the other one here? I'm drawing a blank on. Earthworm Jim. You know, they're like multi-platform games, but they run better on the Genesis, and I like them to play them on there too. But I'm not like, oh, Genesis sucks. And you still run into that stuff, you know, today with like video game systems and fanboys and everything. It's like, why didn't this die out with the 90s? It's something that should have died 30 years ago. Yes, I like having my MacBook Pro because then I'm not compatible with 98% of the world's computers. I'm special. I overpaid for it. It's like, what was that Mac one that came out? The one we're kind of joking and calling the cheese grater that they showed off? Like, it's $6,000 for this computer. And it's like, you can buy that same computer as a Windows PC and buy the program that will let you install Mac OS on it for under $1,500. The same thing, except for it's a Macintosh, then you're paying like $6,000 for it. It's crazy. Oh, I did. I reported you to several agencies as well that the Nintendo 64 is an overrated system. Unfollowed, unfriended, the entire shebang. Alright, so let's get our butt kicked by this. Oh yeah, the Nintendo 64. There's a guy on YouTube called Sega Lord X, and people are like, "Oh, don't you just do Sega games?" Like he covers branches out, and covers other things. He actually did a Nintendo 64 video. He was talking about the first time he saw it, and like I always like to tell people the first time I got my hands on it, 3 months before it launched in the States, I got the Japanese version, and boy howdy, that was my brother and I were like jaws dropped. We spent 30 minutes running around outside the castle on Mario 64 before we realized maybe we should go in and see what the rest of the game looks like. We're like, it's hard to describe to people who weren't alive back then how big of how big of a paradigm shift the Nintendo 64 really was for 3D gaming in general. I mean, because you had the PlayStation, which had 3D graphics and things like that, but you didn't have like full real 3D control until the 64 came out, and that was huge. All right, let's do it. Let's get stupid, which is my motto, really. Sir, could you not please? Yeah, I'm dead.
I should think you still have dreams.
Absolutely fair. Completely fair.
The next time you dream, give some thought.
Absolutely fair. And people kind of crap on the Nintendo 64 now. They're like, oh, the graphics don't look that good. And it really blows my mind as people say, like, Mario 64 controls terribly, or GoldenEye. I'm like, they control just fine. Maybe it's you. A lot of times, I ask them, like, especially when they tell me the Nintendo 64 controller was the worst controller they've ever had, like they've ever played with, and then I ask them, like, how are they holding the controller, and it's always the wrong way, 9 out of 10 times. It's like I'm like asking them, like, how are you holding the controller exactly? I'm like, are you doing this? And they're like, yeah, that's exactly how I hold my Nintendo 64 controller. It's really hard to control. I'm like, it has a center grip. You're supposed to grab it. It's like, why were... And then they go back and they try it again. They're like, oh, never mind. It's like, you're supposed to grab it like this and use your thumb on the analog stick, because they're trying to reach over like the first controller, like the first picture, and control it that way, and then hit the Z button trigger underneath. I'm like, how did you not get this at all, It's like, how did you fail that hard repeatedly with multiple instruction books and even things on pictures and multiple display guides telling you, here's how you hold the controller, and you still screw it up? It's like, why is this a thing? No, it's like, I can, like, play retro games and realize, like, okay, it's a game of its time. Certain things are going to be off, like, camera control is not what we're really used to. In fact, it didn't really pop up until, like, 2003, I think, like, dual analog stick controls for, like, one doing full camera movements like this. Especially in first-person shooters, it was an oddity. And then it's like... And then I go back and play old retro games and things like that, and I recognize that the games are a product of their time. They're not going to have the best controls, and that's fine. But what really irks me now is when you play a game modern times and they have terrible controls, there's like zero excuse for that. That's what really upset me the most about The Last of Us, the remastered edition, which is just like a glitchy pile of crap on the PlayStation 4. So I did reinstall it and tried it again, and there's still problems trying to get up ladders, characters clipping through the ground halfway. It's just like, it's a mess. Metro game was stated for Nintendo 64. Most likely that was Metroid Prime. That wouldn't surprise me if that was Metroid Prime and got shifted to the GameCube, because I know that was in talks for quite some time. Yeah, the original Xbox controller, the Duke, as it was nicknamed, was gigantic. I have large hands, and even that was too big for me. That was ridiculous. So then, eventually, they kind of wised up. When they launched it in Japan, nobody bought the system. I mean, Japanese gamers like, well, it's not a Japanese system, we don't care. But they had a smaller control design, which is called the nickname the S Control, or the S Controller, which is what they finally brought out here in the States, which is a normal-sized human controller. You don't have to be Andre the Giant in order to use it, which is nice. Yeah, the original Duke was just crazy. Fortunately, when I got my Xbox, the original Xbox, it was, gosh, it came with Jet Grind Radio or Jet Set Radio Future, like the sequel to the Dreamcast game, and Sega GT. And I bought the Xbox because Splinter Cell came out, and that's the game I was really wanting to play. And the bundle I had that I bought actually had the S controller in it, which is really awesome. For me, one of the worst controllers outside of the Wii, because it's motion controls and I can't play motion control games, would have to be the GameCube. I did not like that controller. And when I talk to people who say that it was the best controller ever, it's once again it's the same situation where it's like it turned out that that was their very first video game system they ever held or ever played. So they're like kind of biased that way towards it. And I can understand that, but it's like the GameCube controller's got problems, lots and lots of problems. And the Philips was, depending on which model you had, because that was the thing about the CDI. Was it Wrestles with Gaming? Really awesome YouTube channel. Yahil's a good person, you know, awesome too. It's kind of like funny that like he follows me on YouTube, not on YouTube, on Twitter of all things. It's like, really? But he follows me, cool dude. He loves the CDI. But that system had its problems with the controllers. Like either it was like a remote control with either like a thumbstick on it, or you could buy a gamepad that would be more of a controller type deal, but that was only compatible with certain models, not every single model, which is really bizarre. So you could buy a controller and not have it match up to one of the 20 CDI units that was made. It was just a huge mess. And then when they started doing games with it, they're like, well, some games need to have a MPEG card, like decoder, MPEG-1 decoder. You have to buy that on there. Like one of the games that Yayo likes to play is the Hulk Hogan game Thunder in Paradise, which is based off like a short-lived syndicated show. And that one you have to have like the MPEG-1 decoder, or else the game will not play, which is a shame. CDI emulation's another one that I really want to have become more common. And there actually was a CDI emulator. It's still floating around. It's supposed to be really good, but the guy charges for it. Still, it's like $20. It's like, you asshole. It's like, emulation should be open for everybody. Yeah, the Dreamcast controller, that gets hate, and I don't know why as well. I'm guessing most of the time it might be maybe like Sony fanboys, but I played the Dreamcast like the day after the anniversary, the 20th anniversary just happened, and the controller's fine. I mean, it's not bad at all. And like I said, I have large hands, so I didn't think it was too bad of a thing to play. And once again, when I talk to people about it, usually the big complaint is it doesn't have a second analog stick. It came out in 1998 in Japan. It didn't really need to have one. You know, I mean, Sony pretty much started to adopt it right around that time anyway, the dual stick controls for their original PlayStation. And then the other complaint I hear about the Dreamcast is like, well, the Dreamcast should have had a DVD drive. Think back to 1998, if you will. And you're going to. For those of you who were alive at the time frame, think back to how expensive DVD players were. The standalone big giant units were like the size of like the first VCRs, the big things you could like drop on a small pet and kill it. Those were $400. So in order to take that technology and put it into your game console would have raised up the price horrendously, which is exactly what happened on the PlayStation 2. Sony lost money on that for 3 years. before they finally made a profit on the PlayStation 2, because the DVD was like super expensive. At the time, especially in Japan, when the PlayStation 2 launched, it was the cheapest DVD player. People were not buying PlayStation 2s in Japan to play games, they were buying it to play The Matrix, the movie. Actually, it was dedicated to go online, T. Wallace, because they had the built-in modem, which Japan got shafted. Same thing for Europe. They got 28.8 and 33.6 kilobaud modems, whereas here in the States we got 56K modems, which didn't make a whole lot of difference. But the first one to go online was actually the Super Nintendo. Actually, no, even before that was the original NES. In Japan, there was an attachment that you could put onto your Famicom, which would allow you to connect up to the early internet to check on stocks, bet on horse racing, things of that nature. It didn't really catch on a lot. Then later on, the Super Nintendo in Japan had the Satellaview, which actually connected to satellite television stuff and downloaded special games and broadcasts and things of that nature. And that ran for a couple of years. And then later on, you had the X Band, which I got to play once. Was pretty interesting. I mean, you could play Super Nintendo games through a dial-up connection, which had like horrendous lag at the time, like about a second and a half, 2 seconds lag, but it was pretty cool. So speaking of Yahiel, he did a really cool documentary, story about the X Band for Super Nintendo, Sega Genesis, and playing online. It's like an hour and 4 minutes, but trust me, if you watch it, it just flies by like nobody, like you just started. It literally doesn't feel like an hour at all. So it was. So I'd definitely give that a watch. Put in your watch later list, or check it out after the stream, or whenever you feel like. But it's a really good one. I recommend. And I know his next project is the Neo Geo, so of course I am biased towards that. Oh, that's how it's gonna be, huh? Just blunderbuss me to death? Got it. Visceral, thank you. Got him halfway at least.
The next time you dream, give some thought.
So it's like Metal Gear Solid 2, minus the whining and bad story of killing Kojima. Oh, just you wait. Death Stranding's right around the corner. Kind of games that really got my attention was games like the original Doom. I had no idea why it was such fun, but it was. Well, yeah, it was. I mean, we had things like Wolfenstein. Wolfenstein 3D before it, or excuse me, Wolfenstein, to try to do my bad German. Wolfenstein, before it, 3D, which was a lot of fun, but Doom just had something more visceral to it. It was, instead of just being like a corridor shooter, Doom actually had like curved hallways and platforms, whereas Wolfenstein was just 2D plane. It was like, you knew you're going to go in there, all the walls were right angles, and then also you had different geometry of it. So I had played Wolfenstein 3D. I actually have it on the Super Nintendo, which is like a super censored, super blurry port. I have the Japanese version. But my friend Pat actually had this. I didn't know this at the time until I was over at his house. But they made a sequel to Wolfenstein 3D. It was Spear of Destiny. I was like, what is this? He's like, it's a sequel to Wolfenstein 3D. I'm like, they made a sequel to that game? He's like, yeah, dude. I'm like, wow, okay, cool. Yeah, Duke Nukem was also like the same thing. It was a lot more like kind of open world design, but you also had more adult risque environments, things like strippers. This is back before the ESRB was even like a thought, you know, in their heads back then, so you could get away with some fun stuff like that for a while. Before the Mortal Kombats and the Night Traps and all the fun stuff. Just rest easy. Oh, I got you. So my neighbor had Duke Nukem, because at the time, like, we didn't get like a new computer until 1995. Literally, like Windows 95 came out. My parents were like, "Let's get a computer. Let's get something that's actually useful." So we had a Apple II GS for a long time. People were like, "What's that thing like?" It's like having a Mac now. It's not compatible with really anything. Except for back then, it was even more trippier because if you wanted to do a spell check, it came on 3 floppy disks. You know, check your document. Insert disk A through G. That'd take about 5 minutes to run through your entire document. You know, insert I through O. It's like, oh my god. So when Windows 95 became a thing, you know, that was like the huge, another big humongous shift in PC architecture in general. Big step up from Windows 3.1. My parents got a 200 megahertz Pentium 1 processor computer with 32 megabytes of RAM, not gigs, megabytes of RAM, and a 3 gigabyte hard drive that they were told that they would never fill up. That is a massive amount of space. No one would ever fill up 3 gigabytes of hard drive space. So, yeah, so that was like the big computing thing there, and that was also like a lot of stuff. Like the 90s for me was a lot of fun from being a video game fan and also a PC fan. Yeah, exactly. Like you can download a movie, a Blu-ray rip movie, everything in high def, and fill that up even past that on top of it. I mean, you can download PC games, like even console games, like right now, that are, you know, they're gonna be more than 3 gigs easily. And you'll do it a heck of a lot faster than we ever could have dreamed of doing it back in the day either. But the 90s was an interesting time for video games and PC because everything was changing so fast. You had Moore's Law seems to have like slowed down where like every 2 years computing speeds will double. It seems to have slowed down, but back then it was like every 6 months. Like it was obsolete, like, completely. But you had innovation from video game designers. You had, you know, all sorts of like whatever you could think of would go as a video game. We went from like the start of the 90s to the NES to the end basically being the Dreamcast. You know, we went from 2D graphics to 3D at the end of 10 years, and PCs had gone so much faster. We went from things like Wolfenstein and Doom to Quake and Half-Life. Quake 2, you know, it's just like it expanded as fast as well. So it was really kind of cool time to live through all that stuff. Because you just don't really see that much innovation anymore, in my opinion. It's now the whole attitude of like, well, this works, so we have to do this. Like, everything has to be a battle royale game now. You can't have colors anymore in video games. Everything has to be drab and brown, like this game, you know? It's like, why? It's like, back then it's like, I'm gonna have the most colorful, crazy game ever. I'm going to make a point-and-click game. It's like, you had the freedom to do whatever you really wanted to, which is... seems to be kind of lacking. Come at me, bro. Come at me. And also, you had like the massive like wow factor too. I mean, like we talked about the Nintendo 64 being like this massive, mind-blowing thing, and for me, for the past 20 years, I haven't seen anything like that since. There's been nothing that's come out that made me go, yeah, that is like mind-blowing. That is just like breaking my mind on how amazing it is. Like, I haven't seen anything like that since. And back in that time frame, it was like almost everything was like that. Oh yeah, like I grew up with the NES. That was like the first like console for me. Like I'd seen people who had like Atari 2600s. I didn't really care about it. For me, it was Nintendo. I mean, that was a huge thing. Mario Brothers, Duck Hunt, Zelda. I mean, back when you could have like Zelda 2 as a game, where it's like now people would revolt like if you had a sequel to a game and it was like nothing like the original, people would just like lose their minds. Back then, it was like, something new. Let's try it. So sadly, I still do not own a Nintendo. I have a Super Nintendo, Sega Genesis, but never owned an 8-bit system, unfortunately, like that. I had a Game Gear once that got destroyed in the basement flood. In which the Game Gear is pretty much just like a portable master system anyway, so. But I remember what a huge jump it was to have like the Super Nintendo. Like, that was pretty big versus the original NES. And then we had the PlayStation, which was another huge jump up, and then Nintendo 64 and the Dreamcast and so forth. Like, everything just seemed to be like these massive jumps. But for me, like, still the biggest one overall was still Nintendo 64. That was still like the mind-blown thing. It's like I have not been that impressed with a system ever since then. Oh, I went to the wrong neighborhood. Come back this way. Let me funnel you into death. Yeah, let's hope they don't see me. Those guys suck. I hate them. Wolves are bad. See ya. Not getting trapped by those guys. But that's just my hot takes on retro gaming and so forth, and the consoles from one slightly older man. Getting grumpy at 38 years old. Old man status at 38. 38 is the new 87. 46 is the new 22. So there's an inverse curve to this. But of course, I speak from a person who's literally prematurely aging, so... Basically, I'm kind of grinding right now because I want to get a little more strength or health to fight that guy up top. Managed to get him to half life, but he needs to get lower. So I can run around freely without a man trying to blow my head off with a Gatling gun, because, I mean, nothing screams overkill like Gatling guns. But also, nothing is quite as cool. Guy always knows how to make an entrance. Come on, come on. There you go. Alright, let's level up real quick. Then I'll try bum rushing the guy again, and we'll see how that goes. Probably end in death, as most things do in this game, really. I really am envious of people who can play this game, just go ripping right through it, like, oh, that's easy. It's like, I have to, like, stop and grind my way through and make levels, and... Even though this is, like, my second time playing through the game, not consecutively, but, you know, in a couple of years type deal, so... So level up, probably get my butt kicked again. Then probably call it a night, because my throat hurts. It's a little sore from having a airway tube thrust down it to make sure I kept breathing when they put me under. And then I need to put an ice pack on there. Actually, I need to trim the trim those tails on these stupid stitches. I don't know why they left the tails that long. Basically, like the end strings from when you do a stitch, you tie off the knot. Usually they'll trim those kind of close, and these ones, they left them kind of long, just like spiky all over the place. It's like, oh, this is fun. Hurts whenever it gets brushed. So they had to remove a lipoma from my head, which is like a fat tumor, basically. It's benign. It's pretty common. People usually have them. They don't grow more than like a small little dot or so. But mine just kept growing and growing and growing in the back of the head. It got to be about the size of a ping pong ball. So they took it out. Did subdermal stitching, which is like not really needed for head. I mean, the skull, skin, and stuff like that is very thin, so not really needed in my opinion, but they did a subdermal and then surface layer stitching, sutures.
Very well, let me stand.
Ooh, let's see.
Farewell, good hunter. May you find...
Yeah, it seems like nothing really boosts this up more than what I have right now. Okay. Actually, no, I can put in another gem. Yeah. Put 2 on there, that's nice. Raise up my physical attack even more. I'm for it. Alright, let's make our way back to the old crazy guy with the Gatling gun. See if possibly take him down. Don't think I'm going to, but I'm going to give it a shot and we'll see how that goes. So to briefly talk on my next stream plans, probably stream again tomorrow. I'll see how my voice feels. Like I said, right now it's feeling kind of like borderline, like it might go out on me, like the early stages of that, because I have chronic laryngitis. So we'll have to see how that is. Do want to keep playing this game. I am having fun playing it, even though it's kind of slow and not the most action-packed, I realize. Or maybe I'll do more retro games. One of these days, actually, no, let's see. Tomorrow I'll be starting on my new... Yeah, so I started my new fentanyl patch tomorrow. I might be able to stream Bayonetta 2. We'll see. So it's either going to be this... retro or Bayonetta 2, all depending on how I feel. If I do retro, I'm not sure what to play. So if you have any suggestions, I'm always welcome to suggestions. Retro is always fun. Oh, these guys almost go down in 2 hits now. That's nice. That's not nice. Boo. You die. Ugh, Krusty. Everybody struggles in Krusty. Everybody gets to ride the struggle bus when you play Krusty. Ooh, I've done Qbert 3 before. Not well, mind you. Especially with my color blindness, and yeah, it didn't work out too well. I got to a certain stage, I'm like, I'm having problems seeing here. Tetris 2 is an interesting one, because I haven't played that in a long time. Which I'm sure will be another hilarious romp as I try to figure out puzzles quickly. Yeah, I'm sure. Well, I'm known for setting casual world records. I mean, I'm great at that. I mean, I have the casual Bloodborne world record somewhere around 40 hours, so it's a tough one to beat. I'm gonna get blown up. Nope, survived. Oh gosh, there's a guy. Okay, so we have the submission videos are out now for AGDQ, or at least the submissions page was at least. And there's this guy. He put in last year for Bayonetta 1, and I don't know why, but it was like last year he put in for Bayonetta 1 to speedrun it. It was like 3.5 hours. Keep in mind, Ace Krana, I think he's gonna be streaming tomorrow or very soon because he's over in Europe, and he's shooting for like a 140 in that game. Keep in mind, this guy was like trying to say like, oh, 3.5 hours type run. Bayonetta 1 has been run at GDQ before, and it was under 3 hours. So if you're trying to submit a run that's like slower than even the one that showed like 7 years ago, you're not getting in. Second, when your submission video is not even the complete and total run, you're not getting in. So this idiot did it again. He literally submitted his runs again. The same run from last time, the incomplete run, except for this time he knocked down his submission time hit from like 3.5 hours to 2 hours and 45 minutes, but keep in mind that most speedrunners can still do that almost an hour faster. It's like if I were to submit Bayonetta 2 as like a 3-hour game, even though I can beat the game in under an hour 50. It's like, why? It's like, what were you thinking, dude? Although Bayonetta 2 is going to be in GDQ, so good for Cap. He's living my dream that I wanted to have done. Because I really wanted to run that myself, but that's just not ever going to happen now. Oh god. See, the problem is, though, is I would have to play Krusty. That's the problem. Therein lies the fault to your strategy. Or I could just do, I could submit next time, double switch. Just have everybody completely confused, like, what's going on? Is there a story to this? Yes. Can you explain it? No. Oh god, I looked down, I'm too high. I'm scared. Now, I remember being able to sneak up on this guy. Maybe they patched it out, because last time I played this was like really, really long time ago, like 3.5, 4 years ago. No, he's waiting for me. He's like, no, I know you're there. I'm here to kick your butt. It's going down. It's on like Donkey Kong.
still have dreams. Well, the next time you dream, give some thought.
The big problem though about doing like double switch would be Act 2, which is where you can die very easily. And there's like no fast state, so if you die and screw it up, you go back to the beginning of Act 2, which is the longest one, so that would add like another 6 minutes to your run. It's like, oh, that would be brutal. Be too brutal. That have somebody like literally talk for like the game, explaining everything. It's like, what's the plot of the game? Pretty detailed. You're not going to see any of it. But for now. Yep, so we reached the end of the stream. It's been about 3 hours and 40 minutes of non-stop fun. Fun quotation marks. But yeah, I'm tired. Hands are beat and my head hurts. So I'm going to go get some rest and some final dinner. A good, great salad that I eat every day, because I'm on a boring diet. But yeah, it's all good. So I'll be back again, hopefully, streaming 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time tomorrow. If you don't know when that is, just type into Google. It'll tell you. Do keep an eye, though, on my Twitter at Worsel555, because I do update if I'm going to be streaming or if I need to cancel. So I don't know, like, the new higher fentanyl dose could kick my butt tomorrow. Could just, like, lay me out on the couch too tired to do anything. So if I need to call off the stream, I will post it in there just so everybody kind of knows, and I'm not showing up at like 8:30 like, when's the stream going to start? So if I do stream, depending on how I feel, it could be Bayonetta 2, could be retro games, or it could be Bloodborne. We'll have to figure it out and see how I'm doing, but that's the overall plan for tomorrow. So of course, shoutouts to Nylar Thotib. I have no idea how to say that dude's name. They left before I could ask. Nimix, and of course T Wallace, and anybody else who's lurking. You guys are always cool. So I will hopefully see you guys next time. But before I run away, is there anybody streaming? Not really. Alright. Let's do Speedrun Hype TV, the wonderful task channel. Ooh, it looks like Super Adventure, or it looks like Adventure Island. That's always a fun game. All right. So thanks for hanging out, and I will see y'all next time.